Today's episode of Wine Time Fridays is brought to you by all of our friends and sponsors.
It's been a long week, right? Are you ready to wind down? Why not? It's time for the Wine Time Fridays podcast with Shelley and Phil. Neither are sommeliers, but both have a deep passion for life, each other, and of course, delicious wine. And now, here to talk about this week over a glass of wine is Shelley and Phil. It's wine time.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Wine Time Fridays with Shelley and Phil on this Friday, June 27th, episode 271. Shelley, happy Friday. It's wine time.
Happy Friday.
So as I thought about this, so we've got two different Idaho wines that are going to wrap wineries with two different wines. So 4 Idaho wines that will be wrapping up Idaho Wine Month. And it's been a good one. Mm-hmm. It's really been a good one. We've had back-to-back really fun wine months. The Oregon wine months blew us away. Idaho wine months this month these wines are blowing us away as well. But we're going to start off talking about one of them, which is J. Bookwalter. So J. Bookwalter, we've had on a couple times. We've had on episode 148.
We're talking about our sponsors, right?
This sponsor is it?
Okay, but you just went Idaho Wines and you said.
Well, but I just wanted to, before we get to the wines, I want to touch on this particular sponsor.
Bookwalter is not an Idaho winery.
No, Washington wine.
Yeah,
but many of our sponsors are Washington oriented.
Except for one.
Yeah, Rivaura. Mm-hmm. We'll get there too.
Okay.
Jay Bookwalter, who we've had on episode 148 and 196, which you'll look in the show notes. I've got links for all of these episodes, but they have a new wine subscription. It's called the Reader's Subscription, Shelley. Oh. So I'm going to read this. The Reader's Subscription offers a flexible and fully customizable wine subscription service. When you sign up, you instantly receive a 20% discount on all Reader's wines purchased online or to go from their locations. Now, here's the deal. They've got Merlot, Syrah, Cabernet Sauvignon, Sauvignon Blanc, Chardonnay, a red blend, and this delicious reception wine, their Riesling. See what I did there?
I do see.
Okay. Well, I just, there you go.
Riesling. It's a nice Riesling, too.
It really is. Most of their whites are around $20. Most of their reds are around $30. But when you sign up, you will get 3 wines right away. $64 for 3 wines because of that 20% discount, all that fun stuff. Anyway, I just want to jump on that real quick because we have this in our glass. There you go. They've got a winery and tasting room in Richland. They have a tasting studio in Woodinville. Their restaurants are Fiction at the winery. They're in Richland, but they also have their restaurant Fable in downtown Richland. Their wine club is called The Book Club. And everything J. Bookwalter is book referenced and oriented because of the name, which John Bookwalter is literary. His name. Yeah.
Literary, yes.
Yeah, very literary. And again, that foreshadow, all of their wines were really good, but man, we just had that foreshadow a month or two ago, blew me away. Very good. I asked Sam Lang down at Lola, because he's got Bookwalter wines everywhere.
Okay.
I said, Sam, have you had that foreshadow? He says, yeah, we pour it by the glass here.
Oh, nice.
So there you go.
If you want to try that, go over to Lola.
Yeah. Okay, so we will go ahead and finish this dump bucket.
We will.
Sorry. We're going to talk a little bit about our Boise trip as we work through some of these wines. Okay.
It was not recent. It was in October.
October, yep. We stuffed a lot into that trip. That was your birthday weekend trip with the polka dots. You know what I really like about the whole polka dots thing? One of their mantras I know you know this, but I wrote it down anyway. Changing the world by connecting the dots.
Oh, that's so cute, isn't it?
It's really good. So anyway.
It's a fun organization.
Okay.
And it's national and international now.
Yes. And so that Saturday on the gala, you and I...
Celebration.
Yeah, I was
The gala at the
allowed to have dinner with y'all. And then we sat next to some...
we paid for that.
Yeah, but I mean, there was like 5 guys in the whole thing. We sat with somebody that was of some significance at our table, but I can't remember her name. I want to say it's Shannon. Yeah. So she's the founder.
Yep. And she named it. Well, it has a lot to do with her sister, and the name of the dots came to her in a thought. And she said it was a popping thought. And she said it was because of her sister, too. So it's Polka Dot Powerhouse.
Yeah, Polka Dot Powerhouse. And we've talked about that from time to time. By the way, next Friday, Shelley, a week from today is the 4th of July. And we have an episode dropping on that day. And Shelley will be dancing downtown Coeur d'Alene with the newest formation that she's been with, which is the North Idaho Sparklers.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so
it's always a very fun parade.
It is. Women too. And it's the longest parade she'll be doing during the year. What we just opened is a 2024, if I can get, there we go, Huston Vineyards Grüner Veltliner. I got to say, a couple weeks ago, we had a Grüner from, where was that? It was also really good. We'll just stick that right there.
Hard to see.
Yeah.
You see the H. So
there you go.
There you go.
To health, wealth, abundance, gratitude, romance, and
peace on earth.
Lively.
Also very good. Huston is the first winery or vineyard that planted Grüner Veltliner in Idaho.
Is that right?
Yes. And so this is a Snake River AVA, southern Idaho, around the Boise area. They have a very fun story. That whole thing is very fun. So they were established in 2006, and they are on the Chicken Dinner Road.
Chicken Dinner Road.
And there's a little story to go behind that, too. I talked about this story way back when we talked about them before.
We've had
a couple years ago. In Idaho Wine Month.
Yeah, we've had their mall back.
Chicken Dinner Road.
Easier for you to say.
It's called that way because apparently there was a political officer who was bribed with a chicken dinner to help fix the road.
Really?
And then there were like signs on the road that was like chicken dinner this way, chicken dinner this way.
That's funny.
It became Chicken Dinner Road. That's the legend.
That's funny. We had them on. We featured their Malbec on episode 119. I can't put all of this stuff in the show notes. It's just going to be too cumbersome. But look in the show notes. Obviously, well, here's a good way of doing it. If it's not in the show notes, just go to winetimefridays.com. In the search bar, if you put just 119, which is the episode number, it should pull up that episode.
You could probably search for Huston also.
Yep, you can search for Huston too.
So their road is very funny because we actually have a no eggs road in Hayden. And the reason is because people would hang out their side, no eggs today. Like if there were no eggs left, they'd hang out no eggs. So of course it came to be called No Eggs Road.
Is it officially that now?
I guess so.
Wow.
It might be like Sugar Pine Drive in Athol.
Well, Sugar Pine Drive in Athol no longer exists. It only existed when you were there.
Yes, exactly.
So this wine, I'll tell you, I love the Grüners. I really do. And this one's fantastic.
They're kind of acidic. They would you would get some citrus and definitely some lemon.
Yeah, again, great for summer.
This one's very dry. Um, this goes well with Asian food. That's why we're having Asian food tonight.
I love that. And the rosé will go with it too.
Especially summer rolls, which I just got a good recipe for summer rolls off Instagram today.
Oh, well, we will. The jury's out whether it's a good recipe or not, because some of these Instagram things just don't turn out the way.
I should start an account. Failed Instagram trials.
That's funny.
Also, we'd go with fried foods like Austrian schnitzel, fish and chips, fried chicken, of course, from Chicken Dinner Road.
Yeah, of course.
As far as the cheeses, they would go with like lighter cheeses like goat cheese and mozzarella and a youngish pecorino. Also, would go with asparagus or asparagus salads. We had a good we were going to have a good asparagus
We didn't
salad.
end up ordering it.
We didn't. It sounded good, but had mushrooms and onions. So between the two of those.
Where was that? In Rivaura, the rooster.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm kind of this title of this is Raising Glass to Idaho, week 4 of Idaho Wine Month, but it could also be family owned episode because virtually everything we're talking about on this episode is all family owned. And I really like that.
The Alger family.
Yeah, I really like that.
Alger. They were raised in southern Idaho.
So when we were down there in October, on that Thursday, the 24th, we visited Cinder, which we had Cinder on earlier this month to open. We visited Veer Wine Project, which we've had on in other years. We're going to have Will Wedmore on at some point. We also played golf with Amanda at Top Golf that night.
Oh, yeah.
That was after waking up at 4 a.m. to catch a flight to go down to Boise.
True.
Yeah. So we ended up flying because we could take wine with us. Wine flies free on Alaska. Yeah. On certain most West Coast cities. That's right. And I'll talk a little bit about, I can talk about Friday and Saturday real quick because Shelley was basically doing her thing. But since Friday was actually her birthday, we had lunch down at the hotel. I had a real nice lunch there. And I noticed there was an actual hockey rink arena. Yeah, the Grove.
The Grove, yes.
Yep.
It's a good hotel. Yeah, we like it. That's our second time staying there.
Yep, but this time was a little longer. The first time was basically a night.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Yeah, we drove all that day.
To see George and Tanya.
Hi, George and Tanya. 90-some degrees, if not 100 on that drive. It was pretty warm.
It was warm.
That Saturday, she was, again, at the conference, the DOTS conference. I watched a little Washington Huskies football as they got creamed by Indiana. But that night we had that gala dinner, which we talked about. And Jocelyn, who is your chapter's director, she won the Polka Dot Powerhouse Silver Elite Chapter Award.
Yay, Jocelyn.
Yeah.
She does a really good job.
Yeah. We'll talk a little bit more about Sunday as we move through the episode. Maybe we should get to that rosé. Anything more? Because we're going to talk about Houston again in another 10 minutes or something like that.
10 minutes.
Okay. Ooh, that's good.
Please pour me less.
Well, you got to get... Okay.
I just need like 5 glasses.
Oopsie. All right. Well, we're shifting gears and we're going to go to a wine from a winery that's about a half hour from Houston, down in the Boise, greater Boise area, about 27 miles.
Along the Boise River. They call it the Greenbelt Walkway. You can walk.
Isn't there a song? Pretty. Up the Boise River when the old
It was such a pleasant winery to visit. Outside, just sitting there on the grass like a picnic.
It was really good. Check the blog post about our trip because I included some pictures of our stops, but this one in particular is really good. So this is a rosé from what, Shelley? Only 11%. By the way, 13.2 on that Grüner. This is 11%. And it's a 2024 Telaya Rosé. 28 bucks at the winery.
It's 87% Cinso, 13% Grenache.
I show 100% Cinso.
Okay, what year is yours?
2024. What yours is yours?
That's what I got.
Interesting. Well, it's either 87 or 100% Cinso.
And 14.1%, and you said something different, I think.
11.
Okay, there's a little odd things.
Yeah, 11 seemed a little light, and 14 seems a little heavy.
It can't possibly be 14%.
No. I will say this. So what we've started doing through the summer months is highlighting an off the beaten path wine. We started doing whites, but last Monday we did Cinso from Split Rail Winery.
Also in Idaho,
and also really good. So we'll probably mix it up a little bit, but we're doing, what do we call that? Lesser known libations Monday. There's a mouthful. If you have to really think and to remember, it's probably not great.
Yeah, that's true. It's bad marketing.
Hashtag
bad
cheersing.
Marketing.
Oh, and hashtag bad marketing.
Cheersing.
Cinso is a great varietal to make a rosé.
This is slightly effervescent on the tongue.
Yeah. It's super light. You can see the color.
Yeah, super light. It's completely a red wine. I don't know how long it was on the skins. Do you?
I do not. Actually, I don't know a lot about any of these. I was hoping you would have opened up those.
I did.
Oh, you did? Okay, good.
I never saw anything like that. Alert.
Alert. Okay.
What were you talking about?
I hate that part. So Telaya's got some meaning. Oh, was I talking about the... No, I think we left that on Monday. We left that already, right?
That we had.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Okay, we're good. So Telaya's got a little story behind their name.
Yes. So the owners and founders are Earl and Carrie Sullivan.
Mm-hmm.
And they met in the Galapagos Islands because they were both traveling overseas. He was the COO for a pharmaceutical company, and she was a veterinarian for small and exotic pets.
Oh, wow.
And they like to travel. So that's where they met. And then they decided they wanted to come back and start a winery and raise their family. And so Telaya is named after the Teton Mountains, which are really high in Wyoming, and La Playa, which means the beach. So
wow, that's awesome.
So that's
we included a picture of Jared and Carrie on the website.
Earl.
What?
Earl and Carrie.
No, Jared and Carrie.
Says Earl on the
website. Earl is, yeah, he wasn't there that day.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
He wasn't there, so you included one of Jared.
Jared was the person who was serving us.
Gotcha.
And so
now that we have that sorted out.
But here's the thing. These places they're so friendly.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's just so cool. And we felt very compelled to try. It didn't work out to get them on as guests, but we will, and we're working on it. But
they did send us wine, so thank you so much.
Yeah, they sent us a couple wines for this episode. And so we get to talk about them as we drink their delicious wines, even though I'm out in my glass. No, because we have to talk a little bit about...
That's okay.
Okay, two other sponsors before we work into the other Houston one. Eternal Wine, not the first winery we had as a sponsor, but the second longest. Brad Binko, he has been a guest on our podcast. in episode 80 and episode 226. Episode 80 was when we did the incubator wineries. And so he was one. Episode 226 was when he was all by his lonesome. But Brad's great. They just moved,
But
by the way.
he was still at the incubator.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
But he has moved.
When we did 226, we did that at the incubator, but now he has moved to Milton Freewater, just across the border into Oregon. Today at the winery, they have Desert Moondogs are playing, and they have actually events every single day.
Every day?
Yes.
Wow.
They start that in early April and moving through every day. They've got busy. That very busy. New Estate Winery and Tasting Room. They've got daily events. Some of the upcoming events, I don't think I've got that, but go check their socials because they're very good on both Instagram and Facebook. Okay, plan a visit, and I'm talking a little bit about Elsom Cellars real quick. We had Jody Elsom on episode 67. Still way to date. Then. Yeah, to date. They are the first winery that came on board as a sponsor, but to date, that's the most wines we've ever tasted on an episode 9. Luke Mark quiz of Molly Duker. I think we had 8. No big deal because they're only 16%.
No big deal.
It blew out the rest of our Saturday when we recorded. But Brad owns Eternal Family. Jody owns Elsom Cellars.
They're a, what do you call it?
Oh, yes.
Not a bistro.
No, it's a, oh gosh. When you're in the city and have a winery.
You have to take
not industrial.
It's not coming to mind.
They have sustainable practices. They have a wine food venue and a party atmosphere in that venue. And they kind of think along the lines like play when we can, because they throw a pretty good party. What? Urban Winery. There we go. Good job, Shelley. And some things coming up in July. They have a book club that they do. On July 8th, they've got their book club, A Walk in the Clouds by Deborah Shale. And then Friday, July 18th, they have live music from Carly-Ann Calbero. So again, we encourage all of our listeners. You may not like every single wine from all of our sponsors, but try them because we really kind of only have sponsors that we really like their wines.
Of course.
Yeah. And so we have talked a little bit about J. Bookwalter, Elsom Cellars, and Eternal. At this point, we are going to move on. Now, Shelley, in the notes, I have the Syrah and then the Turas red blend. What do you think we should do next?
Okay. Maybe the blend.
The blend? Okay.
Yeah.
I just didn't know.
I didn't know.
As Buddy the Elf would say, "Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know."
I don't think he said, "I'm sorry."
All right. Here, pop goes the weasel. Oh. We have just opened the 2022, and we're going back to back now, which we didn't have in the notes, but we've pivoted. The 2022 Telaya Turas, $42 at the winery. Their rosé is $28, and the Huston Grüner is $38. I always like the top of the Telaya cork.
That's cute.
Yeah. All right. We're going to do a rinse pour on this, Shelley, if you're okay with that.
Yep.
Don't mind us. We get Chinese food tonight. I'm so excited. You can't count that because... Oh, boy. Oh, my goodness. Jeez Louise, Shelley. And that was a rinse pour.
Smells good.
Well, I had a taste too. Oh my goodness. Well, so you're going to talk a little bit about what's in this. Let's go ahead and hashtag cheersing.
That was awful. Very good.
So it's got some dark fruit notes on the nose.
They talked about Jolly Rancher, but they didn't talk about which Jolly Rancher candy. I would say it's probably cherry.
It's
It's
good.
cherry. Cherry sticks.
It's so good.
It's very good.
Oh
They
my
have
goodness.
cherry, cranberry, sort of a baked cherry they suggest on the palate. Yeah, I would agree. Some blueberry. But this is a blend.
Oh, it's one of the deep ones?
Yes, 40% Syrah, 20% Merlot, 16% Cabernet Sauvignon, 12% Mourvedre, 8% Malbec, and 4% Petit Verdot.
Wow. How many is that? Is that 8?
6? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Wow. Kind of like that.
That's very good.
Clearwater Canyon red blend that we had that had like 8 or something. Yeah. I want to talk a little bit more about Telaya. What I found really fun is their website. They have the dogs of Telaya. Have you seen that?
Just briefly, yes.
They have Bricks, who's the head of security, Stogie, complaint department. I don't think...
or Stogie, like a cigar.
It could be... it probably is Stogie. And he probably doesn't get a lot of work because I'm guessing there's not a lot of complaints. Fred.
The tour guide.
He's the tour guide. And you have Donut, who's an accountant, and Cookie, who's the bean counter. I'm not sure what the difference is between the accountant and bean counter. But I'm guessing Donut and Cookie knows.
Donut. They're the dessert dogs.
So we are tasting through 2 wines tonight, whenever you listen to this. But Shelley and I we shared a flight, Viognier, Rosé, and 2 red blends, the Turas and the Dara, all from fruit here in Idaho. But then we came back after taking a mini tour, and we had the Block W6 Viognier, we had a Chenin Blanc, we had Malbec. There's the Turas. We had the 22 Journey. This is just the Turas. I don't see Journey on this.
We had 2018.
No,
you said 22.
Well, we did the 22 and the 18.
Oh, okay.
We had the Syrah, which we bought. We also bought another one. What was the other one we bought? Oh, the Chardonnay in a Chablis style. I think we still have a bottle downstairs. I'm not even joking. And don't tell anybody, but we had the Chardonnay Carrie's Select. I almost read that as secret, so I said don't tell anybody. But Carrie's Select. So Carrie, that Chardonnay I think is just Wine Club. Don't quote me on that. Anyway, this is sensational. This is probably one of those wines that we're like, we need to have these guys on. This is very good. So.
Well, we did talk to them a lot while we were there.
Yeah, we spent a little time there.
It's so pretty.
We actually, do you remember when we went to Split Rail? This is on Sunday, okay? Mm-hmm. We went to, on that Sunday, we went to...
we could go in.
Split Rail was having a release party, and they closed it down for their wine club. So we didn't get to go in. We went in, but we didn't get to experience. We went to Telaya, Coiled, and Scoria. And we've had Scoria on this month.
And the Beer Wine Project.
Yeah, that was that first day. Oh, I didn't take that out. I don't want to confuse myself, so we're taking it out right now. Don't mind us. Anyway, that on that Sunday, do you remember? So we walked everywhere on that Sunday.
We did.
And so on that Sunday,
walked kind of a lot.
We did. We ran into a squirrel. Do you remember that? On the post, on the street post, it was peering out behind.
Oh, yeah.
You have to look at the website, the pictures there.
Okay.
And that was from Split Rail to Telaya. We actually hung out at Telaya for probably a good hour and a half, 2 hours.
Mm-hmm.
The sun was out. Remember, this is October.
Oh, yeah.
This was probably our last kiss of good weather. And we were soaking it in. So nice. And then from Telaya to Coeur, we crossed a pretty cool bridge.
Mm-hmm.
I took a picture of Shelley, which is, again, in that blog post on the website. It says, no climbing, jumping, dropping, throwing, or surfing from this bridge.
No surfing.
Yeah. Who would...
No waves, but no surfing. Just in case one comes up.
That's right. No
Don't catch
surfing.
it.
Don't catch the wave off the bridge. This is really good. This is fantastic. Again, we're not saying anything new. These wines are really good. We kind of knew that going into this. Yum. What else? Oh, we can talk about one other sponsor.
Okay.
I've got so many fun notes, Shelley. So we've done Eternal, Elsom, J. Bookwalter. How about Liberty Lake Wine Cellars, our newest sponsor? So we had Sarah and Mark on episode 185, and it's come to my attention that Mark really likes oak barrels. I mean, he's obsessed with oak barrels. So I think this would be a good time to talk about our CDA Gourmet Wine Words of the Week, oak barrel. Now, we've done, at one point, we did a Wine Word of the Week, Staves, but we're going to do the whole freaking barrel this time.
Okay.
So we've got the staves, the individual wood planks that form the body of the barrel, and they're cut a certain way so they fit together just right. And then we have the head, which is the top and bottom circular pieces of the barrel that enclose the staves. Okay?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Then you have the bilge, the curved section where the staves meet at the bottom of the barrel. Okay?
At the bottom.
At the bottom. Then you have the hoop. Now, the hoop is the metal bands that hold the staves together. And there are typically two types. You have a chime hoop, and those are they encircle the top and bottom of the barrel where the staves meet the head. And you have the bilge hoops, and these are the ones that encircle the barrel at its widest point near the bilge. Then you have two other. You have crows. Could be crozet. We need Mark Lathrop on here right now. The groove cut into the ends of the staves where they fit together to form the barrel body. So it's like tongue and groove. Okay?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Huh.
I think. And you have the truss hoops. Those are the temporary hoops used during the coopering process. Look at last week where we had Cooper, which, by the way, is also the name of Lane's brother in the
Rivaura.
It's at Rivaura here in Coeur d'Alene. It all comes together. We didn't put that together then, but I did put it in the description. Anyway, those are the temporary hoops used during the coopering process to hold the staves together while the permanent hoops are being attached. It's a process. And as we talked with Lane from Rivaura last week.
Remember my butter thing?
Yes, we still have it. She has a butter churn deal. It's much like an oak barrel. We should just do that because it's a two-person job, Shelley. I try to put it together, and then you have to put it in water
soak it,
so it expands.
I don't think it has tongue and groove, though, does it?
No, I don't.
Because it's that old. So.
Yeah, it could be. Anyway, those are the parts of the barrel. We got them all out once. Thank you, CDA Gourmet Wine Word of the Week. But by the way, since we're on CDA Gourmet, let's talk about them a little bit. They're our friends, Brenda and Matt. Mm-hmm. Just celebrated 2 years in business. They're killing it over next to
4th Street?
On 4th Street, Midtown, just down the street from Pilgrim's Market. Wow, look at all these.
And Trader Joe's.
And Trader Joe's, all these transitions.
Yes.
So CDA Gourmet, really anything you need along the kitchen utensil, gourmet kitchen stuff. They have gizmos and gadgets aplenty.
They do.
And speaking of that, we have a new Cricut printer that we just started working on. So CDA Gourmet kind of moved things around their store a little bit. So their gadget room is
they're
not there anymore.
anymore.
Yeah. So we're going to have to give them a new 2-year anniversary gift, which is a new vinyl thing that they can put up gizmos and gadgets aplenty from The Little Mermaid.
Well, depends how you say it, but you can't say it just like that.
I
We'll
can say
get
it anyway.
sued by Disney.
Oh, Disney Smizney. I'm not using any of their branding. Jeez.
That's their branding.
You
They're
can't
very
copyright.
fussy about that.
Disney Smizney. I'm telling you. Okay, we've blown through the Elsom, J. Bookwalter, Liberty Lake Wine Cellars. By the way, they have also family owned. They have their Thursday night wine club night only, and then they're open
Thursday or Wednesday.
Wednesday. I don't think they're there on Wednesday. No, that's going to be Seasons.
Oh, no, that's not what I meant, though.
Oh, okay.
The one that you couldn't go to because you were babysitting the dog.
That was one. That's their annual.
Oh, okay.
They have an annual wine club appreciation, which So for those who don't know, Lucy was broken and now she's fixed. and so we couldn't really leave her alone because we didn't want her working on the incision and stitched area. She has had to wear the cone of shame for 3 hours. That's it. 3 hours. She still gnaws at her paws as she's doing right now, but anyway, what else? They are
gnaws
blah,
at her
blah,
paws.
Gnaws at her paws. That's a hashtag. Gnaws at her paws. And Mark and Sarah are very community oriented. Also, as many of our sponsors are. Okay, we've only got 2 more sponsors 3 technically to talk about, but we're going to open another wine. Man, this is fun. Just blow right through these without any sponsorship spots. Oh.
Drink it.
Okay. That will be loud on the recording.
Yeah.
That I can take out.
Could you open that over the table rather than the cream-colored carpet? Ding. Carpeting. Thank you.
It's a lot harder.
You need leverage.
Interesting. Okay.
Huston.
We have no problem. Okay.
Oh, Huston is because they're around the town of Houston. In Idaho, not Texas.
Down in the Boise Garden City area. This is a 2021 Huston Vineyards Malbec. Excuse me, Syrah.
I was like,
My bad.
what?
My bad. Syrah. Okay, hashtag choosing.
2020?
I have 2021.
Okay.
Yep, 2021. Well, since I have it here.
It smells really good.
Smells
like a Syrah.
Ooh, sorry. Hashtag choosing.
Oops.
Oh boy. That's, oh my gosh. 13.4. Thank you, Huston.
That's very yummy.
13.4. This is not hot, and this is very good.
Very good. Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
I guess he liked it.
Oh my gosh, I do. Too
bad we didn't have this for the tacos last night.
This would have worked for tacos last night. Well, we can only have so many things for dinner, so
this goes with teriyaki chicken, butternut squash risotto. These are just some ideas. Braised lamb shanks, roasted pork tenderloin. I would say roasted pork tenderloin with an herbe de Provence spice rub on it, and ancho chili topped ribeye.
Yum. What's that last one?
Ancho chili topped ribeye.
What's ancho chili?
Ancho chili is a kind of chili.
Can we do this at some point?
Yeah, we'll do that.
This wine is fantastic. We're gonna say this is about $38 at the winery. So both of Huston Vineyards wines are $38. That Telaya Rosé is $28, and then the Turas is $42. All of these are amazing. This particular wine is kind of blowing my socks off a little bit.
Really?
Yeah, I'm not getting a whole lot in the nose.
Really, I am.
What are you getting?
Syrah.
Smart ass.
I like Syrah. I can identify Syrah. What are our chickens doing now?
Whenever
I
Shelley
think they're
talks about
talking to
chickens,
Alexa.
then Alexa comes on. This is really good.
It is really good.
This is fantastic. I'm telling you, man, all of these wines are good. This is our putting a bow on, loving on Idaho wines.
Now we'll have to get some teriyaki chicken for the Chinese food.
Okay.
I haven't ordered it yet.
Okay.
We'll have to do that.
I mean, the rosé will work with it.
All of them will work.
Pretty much, yeah. So this is really actually good news for me.
Angus steak and pepper for the blend.
Let's talk a little bit about Seasons of Coeur d'Alene.
Okay. Speaking of hunger.
Right. Seasons. Daniel Bentley was on episode 247 with our Champagne and Fries episode with Sarah and Mark Lathrop, Joy and Kurt Grady, Shelley and Phil. I just, like I said, went into Lola's. Sam was like, yeah, we can't let this year go by without me being on an episode. Because he was not able to make it. He was not able to make it. And he's our, like, quote, somm professional for the champagne. Mm-hmm. But we had a really good episode on that 247, and they just kept shoveling out French fries, which is really good. Another family-owned restaurant that offers seasonally inspired spirited cuisine and a warm and inviting atmosphere. They have Taco Tuesday, Wine Down Wednesday, which our listeners will be specifically interested in. 50% off all bottles of wine that you have to drink them there.
No, I don't think you have to.
I'm pretty sure you do.
No.
I'm pretty sure you do. Yeah, that would be silly if you could just go in and buy you have
a case of
Silver Oak. Yeah.
Silver Oak,
so Silver Oak is about $120 bottle of wine there. You get it for $60. Let me just repeat that. Silver Oak, $60. And I'm almost positive.
You don't have to drink the whole thing.
Yeah, maybe not the whole thing. But I mean, so, and then they have Thursday Burgers and Brews, which
that's one of my favorite things.
It really is good. I mean, $15-$16.
But also they have a salmon burger, which is you can have without the top. It's really good.
You know, they're open 7 days a week now.
I thought they always were.
No, they used to be closed Sundays and Mondays, but now through the summer they're open 7 days a week, and they'll cater. So there you go. Let's talk about Pilgrim's Market.
They have a great social media.
Well, I had something so about funny. That. So they're also locally owned and operated. They're proud to be an independent and locally owned business, which could lead. Well, I'm not going to say that. Anyway. Some of their family that's involved. So Sarah and Joe, okay. Sarah is now, she's got a company called Sarah Hamilton Face in aesthetics, medical aesthetics. Sydney Bay's photography. Sydney is one of the daughters. Then you've got Shelley Michael. Mm-hmm. Michael Hamilton. Michael Hamilton is a real estate agent that does all their videos.
Thoughts of Billy Joel just came back to me.
Oh, what was it?
Michael is a real estate
agent. Oh, real estate novelist. Yeah. Never had time for a while. Yeah. So, no, Michael's the guy that does the videos.
Social media.
Yes,
he is very funny. He should be an actor.
Well, he's very, very good at delivering. Yeah, I would say that. They actually source local products They've got something. They've got these little emblems, little symbols. One is
Made
MRH.
right here.
Yep, made right
and
here.
Grown right here.
Exactly.
And we've been to the garden in the back where they grow things right here.
And it's amazing. It's absolutely amazing.
Their compost turns over like every couple of weeks.
I think it might be faster.
Maybe.
Yeah, I think it's faster because they do some things to speed up the process.
Mm-hmm.
Our compost, it turns over every 2 to 3 years. So, and again, community involvement. And the last sponsor.
And it's organic. That's the biggest thing.
Very organic. Yeah. I mean, they're a great store. When Lindsay and Brian visited, Brian happened upon this store.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, yeah, they're one of our sponsors. That's what those guys buy is all this organic stuff. And Pilgrim's is right up that alley. Go in. Sarah will get you anything you want as long as it's available through a distributor here in Idaho.
And it's wine.
Yeah, wine or beer. Yes. They've got a very extensive beer.
Anything you want. Like, I'd like a pound of truffles. Maybe she could. Who knows?
Who knows? The last one is Rivaura. We're not going to go too much into Rivaura. They have been on episode 150 and 270, which is last Friday. So, again, check out last week's episode and then go say hi to Cooper in downtown.
Or go visit the
Coeur d'Alene. Or go down to Julietta. Jeez, yes. Let's see. I think that's everything, Shelley. In review today, we've had the 2024 Huston Vineyards Grüner Veltliner, the 2024 Telaya Rosé, the 2022 Telaya Turas, and the 2021 Huston Vineyards Syrah. All fantastic. We can't even say thank you again to today's sponsors.
CDA
Gourmet. All of that we mentioned. Yeah, it was just kind of it seemed like a good time to just give a blanket thank you to all of them. And encourage our listeners to go into these areas. If you're here in town, go to Pilgrim's, go down to Seasons, go over to Rivaura, right? Mm-hmm. If you're in Eastern Washington, check out J. Bookwalter and Eternal.
And their restaurants, which are also very good.
Yeah. So, and their restaurants. We have lunch there.
Their tasting room is so educational also.
On the walls, they have everything you need to know about winemaking.
Mm-hmm.
It's
and the vineyard,
brilliant.
What happens during each month.
Yeah. I didn't know any of that. So, sorry. Okay. With a little bit of knowledge, Shelley, wine becomes a lot less overwhelming. Thank you for listening. Thank you for being here. Next week, we're going to do red, white, and blue for the 4th of July. Not even sure what that means because last year we did a red wine, a white wine, and that blue wine was pretty hideous. But we have a wine that's got the American flag on it. And I'm just going to leave it at that. A little dingy.
Bye.
Thank you for spending part of your day to wind down with Shelley and Phil. Remember, you can listen to any episode of the Wine Time Fridays podcast by visiting winetimefridays.com or wherever you get your podcasts. And join us on our Wine Time Fridays Facebook page, Instagram, or on Twitter, which is @VintageTweets for daily conversation. Until next week, here's our toast to you. To health, wealth, abundance, gratitude, peace on earth, and of course, romance.